Today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the Avata 360 so you can decide whether it's worth it or not. We're talking 8K 60 frames per second 360 video, 1/1.1 inch sensor on each camera, 10-bit D-Log M color, O4 Plus transmission, full propeller guards, user replaceable lenses, omnidirectional obstacle sensing and LiDAR on the front, dual 360 and single lens modes, 42 GB internal storage, intelligent flight modes for automatic following, head tracking for maximum immersion, and a completely different way of flying and filming. Now let's talk about the cameras, because they are the main topic, what everyone is dying to know. So we have a 1/1.1 inch sensor on each camera here, and as you know, we have two of those, so we can film 360. We have 8K 60 frames per second footage available on the Avata 360 with 10-bit color, both available in normal color profile and D-Log M. On top of that, we have 120 megapixel 360 photos from the Avata 360. The two sensors of the cameras that we have here on the Avata 360 are responsible for the great dynamic range that this drone has, as well as the aperture of f1.9, which makes sure that you're able to get crispy footage even in situations where the light is not enough. And of course, since the footage that you're able to create is 8K 60 frames per second, you can reframe it and still have 4K very usable output. And that's in 60 frames per second, meaning that you can slow it down if you really need to emphasize on what you're recording with the Avata 360. As a matter of fact, I developed my very own LUT that works with just one click that you can use for D-Log and D-Log M footage. D-Log M is what we have here on the Avata 360 to quickly color grade from flat and boring to really nice, punchy and vibrant footage with just one click. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. It really speeds up the whole workflow. Now, workflow is a word that you will have to get used hearing when we talk about the Avata 360, because as it's a 360 drone, it works in a very different way. Obviously, it records everything around it, and then you have the freedom to go back and post and reframe everything as you wish. You only need to fly one way, and from that one way, you can create multiple different angles, multiple different perspectives that otherwise take a lot more time and obviously are not possible without 360 video. Now, the O4 Plus transmission system that we have on the Avata 360 is the silent hero on this drone, because let's be honest, if you don't have good signal, you will regret buying this drone, because it will just ruin the whole experience if you get stuttery transmission and you cannot even enjoy the flight. So with the O4 Plus transmission system that we have on the Avata 360, you don't have to think about any of those things, because the transmission is rock solid. DJI has been working on O4 Plus for such a long time with the previous iterations of their transmission system, and now it has been developed to a point that you just have good signal no matter what. Unless you go really far behind some very solid obstacles, you will not have problems with the transmission, and that makes for a huge impression when flying this drone, especially when directly comparing it to its bigger competition, the Antigravity A1. But I will leave that for my next video. So the O4 Plus gives you a maximum flight distance of up to 20 kilometers, which of course is in FCC mode in perfect conditions without any obstacles, but still, even in areas with strong interference, you will not have any issues with the signal. I'm telling it as a person who flies in CE mode, where the range is a lot less than those 20 kilometers. Still, I've never experienced any issues with my Avata 360 transmission. So that's a great point for the drone. One of the strongest points of the Avata 360 is the ways to control this drone. So let me show you what you can use to fly this drone, because it gets quite ridiculous, let me tell you. So first, we have the option to fly with the RC Motion Controller 3 and the Goggles 3, or the Goggles N3. Those are the cheaper goggles that you can also get with the Avata 360, or if you have them before, you will be able to use them. But if you don't want to use the Motion Controller 3, you can use the FPV Remote Controller 3. This gives you more precision, and this gives you better accuracy when flying with the Avata 360. Unfortunately, when using this, you don't have full manual mode on the Avata 360. It's just the basic normal and sport mode. Full manual acro mode is not supported on the Avata 360. However, if you don't want to use FPV or you get sick by that motion, you don't want to fly with goggles, you can also fly with the RC2. This is the remote controller with the built-in screen. And use that kind of like more traditional drone, but still it will be able to record 360 footage as well, even with this remote. You just don't have the goggles on your head. But if you don't have this, you can also use the RC N3 or N2. Those are old remotes that pretty much everyone who has ever dealt with a DJI drone has one laying around. Also, if you have the RC Pro 2, you can also use this on the Avata 360. For now, it's not supported yet, but it will be very, very soon. So just take a quick look at how many different remotes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different ways of controlling with your hands. And even 6 if you count the RC N2. This is getting quite ridiculous, so you don't have to buy the remote. If you have one, you will be able to use it. It really depends on what you want to do with the drone, how you want to fly it. Obviously, after talking about how many different ways there are to control this drone, we need to talk about, okay, how does it actually fly? How do you feel when flying the Avata 360? Well, first of all, since it's a Cinewap, it has all the ducts protecting the propellers, meaning that this drone is extremely safe to go around people, to fly close to them, and to be used in a little bit more aggressive type of way, because everything is safe, secure, and there are no problems with the propellers. They are completely tucked away and guarded by the prop guards. On top of that, we have omnidirectional obstacle avoidance, meaning that the drone knows where all the obstacles are and it will detect them and avoid them. We have LiDAR here on the front, which makes flying even in dark environments extremely safe, because the drone is able to detect the obstacles on the front even when you don't really see them that well from the camera. One of the most interesting new features that we have here on the Avata 360 is called Spotlight. We have Spotlight Free and Spotlight Standard. With the free mode, you can actually fly this kind of like an Inspire 3. So you don't have to think about the position of the camera. You only have to think about flying the drone. Simply select a target with the drone and enjoy the flight. The drone will do the rest. It will keep the subject centered, framed in the middle, and you only have to think about the flying part. The rest will be handled by the cameras and the drone. As for the standard mode, it's something that has been used in previous drones from DJI, and in this mode, the camera lens will stay focused on the subject, and the user can operate the joysticks to move the drone around in relation to the subject. On top of that, we also have Active Track 360 on the Avata 360. This is a mode that we've seen before on many other DJI drones before. So this is a known feature, but just works super well on the Avata 360 as well. It will actively track you and move around as it keeps you in the middle of the shot while you're doing something, maybe like you're cycling or riding a bike or following a car, something like that. It will be able to be done with the Avata 360 as well. Now, DJI has done something genius about the cameras that we have here on the Avata 360. So if you want, you can use just the main camera here on the front. This is your regular camera that you can use in a single lens mode, meaning that you don't have to reframe afterwards. You're not recording 360 footage, you're just recording from that front lens. That's extremely handy for some situations when you're flying and you know that you only want to have that front look. You don't want to keep looking around, or you don't want to reframe your shot, maybe for some indoor FPV flying, or for some other scenarios where you don't feel like reframing your shot afterwards. You can use this as a traditional FPV drone. However, if you don't want that, you can switch to 360 mode, which then changes the orientation of the lenses, and now one of them is looking up and the other one is looking down, meaning that they're recording the whole area, the whole circle in 360, meaning that you have all the freedom to look around and reframe your shot as you wish. The maximum resolution when using single lens mode is 4K 60 frames per second, and when using 360 mode, we have 8K 60 frames per second. Now I have the pricing list here of the Avata 360. It's in euros, so you'll have to excuse me if you are looking for prices in USD. However, I'm extremely happy to see that DJI has priced this very competitively, especially compared to the Antigravity A1. So the RC2 version of the Avata 360, meaning that just the drone and the remote are going to be 719 euros. The Fly More combo, which comes with 3 batteries in total, so those 2 in addition to the one that we have here, and the RC2 again is going to be 939 euros. That's the same price for the Fly More Motion combo, which comes with the RC N3 goggles and the RC Motion Controller 3. This is going to be your FPV bundle that is quite nice. I highly encourage you to check that one because it's the most fun, at least in my opinion, to fly. I forgot to mention we have a lens replacement kit, which you can also buy for 25 euros with all the tools and everything necessary. If you don't want the tools, if you just want the lens kit, it's 21 euros. So that's even cheaper if you want to take advantage of the option to change your lens by yourself. So you don't have to worry about scratching the lens. While making this video, I got the news that there will be one more option, and that's the DJI Avata 360 drone only for 459 euros, which is great if you already have the accessories and you don't want to spend more for something that you already own. Flight time, something else which I kind of missed talking about earlier because there are so many things to talk about when it comes to the Avata 360. DJI claims a maximum flight time of about 22-23 minutes with each battery. Now the real flight time obviously really depends on the weather conditions, how much throttle you're giving, how you're flying with which remote you're actually flying, and how much what the temperature is, how it's affecting your flight. Let's just say 18 to 20 minutes is a good estimation of what you can expect from the battery life of the Avata 360, which I believe is a pretty good amount of flight time. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst when it comes to flight time from an FPV drone that gives you 8K in 60 frames per second. Now the elephant in the room, Antigravity A1. Obviously the other 360 drone that we saw from Antigravity a couple of months ago. Now this is a video that is coming right after this one, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to see it. Some things which I didn't enjoy in my flying with the Avata 360 were the stitch lines, which were kind of harsh and very visible, and also the wobbles that obviously, since this is a Cinewhoop, they are just impossible to avoid because the way the air goes through the props and the way the frame is made is kind of, it's just physics. It's how the air goes through the props and creates those little shakes and wobbles that are impossible to get out of your footage because you have it in 360. And since you don't have an actual gimbal, we use electronic stabilization for the footage. It's impossible to get rid of those shakes completely, so sometimes you end up getting them in your footage. Now, when it comes to the stitch lines, DJI had a lot of negative feedback from some of the early impressions videos that we saw earlier this month, and they quickly came out with a new firmware update that severely improved the situation, and now the stitch lines are a lot less visible, and they also are going to keep improving things. Obviously, since this is their first 360 drone and only their second 360 product after the Osmo 360, they still have a lot to learn, in my opinion, when it comes to dealing with those little things that are going to kind of ruin your footage if you don't get rid of them. So they're still doing their maximum effort to improve the situation. I saw a massive improvement from the first firmware that I was using on the Avata 360 to now the latest one that I have just a couple of days ago. And now I can see something that, you know, it's looking a whole lot better than before. Finally, the editing part, when it comes to reframing your 360 footage, you have to use DJI Studio, and as far as I know, there will be the DJI Fly application or maybe some other application that will be able to also give you the option to edit your footage there. For now, I think it's only DJI Studio that you can use to reframe your shots. And I'm not the biggest fan of the app because it doesn't give me full control over the smoothness of the keyframes and over some of the features that I need. But there's a workaround if you are using DaVinci Resolve, for example. There are plugins available. If you're using Adobe Premiere, there are also other plugins available that will let you edit 360 footage and give you full control over the keyframes and everything else. So those things are something that I will be talking about in some of my upcoming videos, because there's a lot to learn when talking about editing 360 video, and there will be a lot of tips and tutorials on how you can maximize your experience with 360 footage. But for the most part, I'm very happy with how the footage looks like and what you can do with 360 footage coming out of the Avata 360. Very impressive drone that I will be posting a lot more videos in the upcoming days and weeks. So stay tuned for that. Full comparison with Antigravity A1 coming next. Next video will be that, so be subscribed, check it out, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I'll catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.